ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, it may appear that we have got stuck in the shloka number 7. But I can assure you, dear, my words fail me to convey to you the importance of this shloka. This shloka covers the spiritual journey of an aspirant from the first day he desires to be spiritual till this achievement of his spiritual goal. This one shloka tells you about the procedure, the methodology, the discipline, all woven together to insist upon you that please pay due attention to the procedure of how you grow to that height of spiritual realization, moksha or mukti. Now, the concept of liberation, realization, spiritual achievement of your goal, these are all words. But when you want to understand it about the behavior pattern of such a realized soul, these words mean nothing to you until and unless somebody points his fingers to your eyes and tells you, please try to understand it in this particular manner. Till then, it is only words and words and words. So, I will now today start on the 7th, but end up on the 9th. The 8th and the 9th shloka is an elaborate description of how a realized soul feels, how he behaves, how he moves in this world. That is what in the 2nd chapter Arjuna wanted to know. Let me repeat the shloka to you. Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita brajeta kim. When Sri Krishna in the 2nd chapter told on Arjuna's very face the truth, the blunt truth and nothing but the truth, that you are not what you think yourself to be. You are the soul, the Supreme. You have identified yourself, which is not your true original nature, Arjuna. This is your true original nature. Arjuna was stunned. So he humbly says, Dear Lord, my teacher, my friend, my philosopher, my guide, please tell me, Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha. Sthita pragya, a man of mature wisdom, a realized soul, is being described as a man, a person of mature wisdom. In legalistic language, when you say man, they presume it is man and woman. But these days we should be very careful. So let us say a person who is of mature understanding and experience. This is the first definition of a realized soul, sthita prajna. Prajna is experience emanating from, the prajna is wisdom emanating from your experience. You hear fire is hot. Until unless you burn your fingers, you don't understand what is the sensation of being burnt. That is the wisdom. So experience generates wisdom. Sthita prajna is a person of mature wisdom generated by this knowledge, I am Atma Brahma. What I call as myself is nothing else but the supreme sublime divine being. Ka bhasha, how do you define it? That is, Arjuna is asking Sri Krishna at the end of the second chapter. That section is known as Sthita Prajna's Lakshana, signs and symptoms of a Sthita Prajna Purusha who has to be identified by those signs and symptoms. Ka bhasha, what is his definition? And who is a Sthita Prajna? Samadhistha, who is eternally immersed in the awareness of his true original nature. Now please don't say it is beyond your understanding. The concrete example is, are you ever, all of us, let us be honest to ourselves, are we ever, for a fraction of a second, unaware that I am not or I am? It's an axiomatic truth. I am. Even after deep sleep, when you get up and you are disoriented, where am I? Am remains. I remains. What has happened that am or I as of now is egocentric. The pendulum is on its extreme side, one side. And what is samadhi? The pendulum moves to the other side. Egocentricity merges with divine centricity, that is, merges with the cosmos and stands there. And then when I say I am, I don't identify myself with this am. I identify myself with it. The experience is so deep that my individualistic ego has merged with the ocean, the cosmic ego. That is samadhi for you. This I goes beyond the limited dimensions which we hold with our two hands. That is what I am. My passport identity, my curricular vitae, my biodata. That is what I am. Or my heritage and my lineage and my ancestry. All centering around this body-mind complex. This I moves out of this limitation and merges with its true original nature. Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadhi, such a realized soul, kim asita. How does he stay around in this world? Kim asita prabhasheta brajeta kim. Prabhasheta means how does he interact with the world? Brajeta kim, how does he move around in the society? Exactly what I am doing today with my limited awareness. When you have reached that goal, you do all the things the same way with a different perspective. That is all that it is, dears, as Sri Ramakrishna used to say very jokingly and in a satirical manner. Somebody came to see him, a new person. Oh, you are here. Why are you here? I have come to see a Paramahamsa. Paramahamsa is a state where the man or the woman, the person who has identified himself or herself with his or her true original nature. Like a swan, a supreme being, a swan, lives in water, swims in water, dives deep into water, but not a single feather is wet, messy, as dry as ever. As dry as ever. That is a Paramahamsa. In Calcutta area, everybody knew there's a saint, a Paramahamsa, living in Dakshineshwar. So a person inquisitive enough, he came all the way to Dakshineshwar. Sir, I'm here. Why are you here, my child? Sir, I'm told a Paramahamsa lives here. May I see him? Talking to Sri Ramakrishna himself. And Sri Ramakrishna, in a very, very funny manner, without any aspersion, etc., in a very fun-loving way, how do I convince you, my dear friend, that you are talking to a Paramahamsa? Do I grow two horns and a long tail in a human body to convince you I'm something excellent, different? There is no difference at all. Only that person emanates divinity. He spreads around the spark of divinity wherever he goes. That is his true original nature. So Arjuna asked this question. Sri Krishna is answering to that question that Arjuna asked in the second chapter, preparing Arjuna to have that background to understand in reality what is that state, what is the experience that we will go through if and when by God's grace and our good effort we reach that goal. In the 5th chapter, Sri Krishna needed the whole of the 2nd chapter, the 3rd chapter, the 4th chapter to make us fit enough to now understand what is it to live in this world but not to be of it, not to get messed up in it. You live in this world, but you're in it. There's a beautiful saying in the Upanishads, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. A stream, very, I would say, a high current because of decline of the hillside. It's an extremely strong current stream. Even an elephant, the most sure-footed animal, is afraid to go across. He may be blown away. The stream is so strong. The current is so strong. But you find fishes in the stream, they are without much of a problem swimming to that shore, swimming to this shore. And the saying is, Jatha Mahamatsa Ubho Kulam Sancharanta. Jatha Mahamatsa Ubho Kulo Sancharanta. Like that grand Mahasher fish, it swims easily, playfully from that shore, the shore where you get mixed up, and the shore where you don't get messed up. Plays. That is the fun of the game. Similarly, you, me, and all of us, by dint of our hard work and discipline, ultimately, by the grace of the Divine, which we earn by our hard work. He will not give His grace just because I want to. I must pay for it. I must struggle for it. I must convince Him I want nothing else but you. He is a jealous lover, as it is said in the Bible. He can't share his love with anybody else. It should be totally dedicated love for God. So he comes in the 5th shloka, after preparing all of us to understand what is the experience of that person, what he feels like it. So, the 7th shloka, from the first word to accepting that last quarter of the verse, all the words are extremely practically oriented, robust, commonsensically based, and knitted one after the other, that you start, you graduate, you do graduation there, you go up, and in the 5th stage, you have achieved, you have arrived. Yoga Yukta, Karma Yogi, all the time keeping the awareness of the Divine in your mind in whatever you do. To generalize it, your flow of life is blended with awareness of presence of God. Flow of life blended with, not occasional. But when we start, we remember, we forget. We remember, we forget. We continuously make an effort to remember and not to forget. That is what the process of blending is concerned. Yoga Yukta is that blending. More you think of the Divine, more your personality gets purified. What is this purity? You are no more interested in the temptations of the world, or interested in interacting the world of my sense organs, my active organs, and my activities of Pancha Prana, Pancha Vayu. Not at all interested. And if I am, I blend it with awareness of the divine. Yoga Yukta, purification of your personality. And thereby you are the master of your body, mind, soul. Jitendriya. Yoga Yukta, Vishuddhatma, Vijitatma, and Jitendriya. Your sense organs are under your control. What do you mean? I see you. I have educated myself by following this methodology. I see the containers, various sizes, various shapes, various names, various qualities, various utilitarian values. I'm aware of that. But I know my Ishtadevi, the Holy Mother, she is everywhere. And I bow down. I am Yoga Yukta, Vishuddhatma, Vijitatma, Jitendriya. And ultimately, Sarvabhutatma, Atmabhuta, Atma. Sarvabhuta. From the living to the inanimate. From animate to inanimate. Whole range of things. Material, energy, life, soul, whatever you say. I see that essence everywhere. And how do I see? That is my true original nature. Pratyak Chetana Adhigama. These are the words, dear. I can't translate it thoroughly. I would like you to understand the meaning of it. Pratyak is absolutely direct. Chetana is awareness. As I am directly aware I am, I don't need my sense organs, I don't need my active organs, I don't need anything. It is Sasambedya Chaitanya. I am. Even if God comes and tells me you are not, with my conviction I'll say, sir, you're a very busy man. You better run your show. Leave me alone. I'm convinced I am. That is Samvedya Chaitanya. Self-evident awareness I am. Now, when I ask myself, who am I look around. How do I explain myself? Oh, here's my passport. Oh, here's my biodata. All of that rotates around this body-mind complex and its achievements. But that's not what I am. I was a child, baby, newborn baby. I was a child. I was a young man, youth, adult, old man, a tottering old man, 1 foot in the grave. I keep on saying, I am, I am, I am. So the amness is permanent. And all this appears to be permanent, but it is not so. On analysis, I find it is changeful. And change is what? Destruction in time. That is what change is. Change, we call it change because there's a continuity and I allow that continuity to get a hold on me. So I say it is real. It appears to be real, but it is not real. How come? I will give you an example from the scriptures. You know what is known as mirage? You have forgotten your water bottle. You are driving to a dry land. You are thirsty. All of a sudden, you see in front of your road simmering water. You are looking at a mirage, but you see water in a mirage. Oh, it's there. You drive. The more you drive, more it retreats. Ever running, never reaching. And then it dawns on to you, yes. We were told in the school, there is something in nature known as a mirage. It appears to be rippling water, but it appears to be water. There is no water there. And I've experimented it, and I've seen the more I go near it, the farther it goes away from me. Now, you have known that, you have experienced that. I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this life, not this wisdom. I am the ego, but not this ego, boundaried by all limitations. I have identified myself with my true original nature. Once you know the mirage is a mirage, it appears to have water, there is no water in it. Will you like to run to quench your thirst thereafter? Would you? You may be thirsty to death, but when you see a mirage, you will not run. He says, no, I'll not dehydrate myself any further. It is a mirage. You're looking at the mirage, you're seeing the mirage, but the desire to run from water has disappeared. You have learned the true nature of the mirage, and you know what it is. You have learned the true nature of the Jivatma, this egoistic individual, and you don't identify yourself with this. Now, the last quarter of the seventh verse, seventh sloka. So, a person who has achieved this, kurbannapi na lipyate. He appears to live in this world. He keeps on moving around, interacts like you and me and everybody else, lives like a Tom, Dick and a Harry. But he's else. He doesn't mess himself up with this water, just like a Paramahamsa, the great swan, which lives in water, but does not allow the water to wet his feathers. Kurbannapi na lipyate. He performs. He lives in this world, but he does not get messed up as we get mixed up. That is the difference. Now the 8th and the 9th shloka. It is a detailed description of that last quarter of the previous shloka, Kurban api. It appears he is totally involved in the world. What about all the avatars? Let us not take the saints now. Let us take the incarnations. Were they not active in this world? Think of Rama, think of Krishna, think of Abraham, think of Moses, Buddha, Christ, Shankara, Ramanuja, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, the Holy Mother. Were they idle? Did they spend their life in sleeping and gossiping? Their whole life was intensively active to help people like you and me by setting an example of how to live in this world but not to get messed by it. So each one of them were active. Their activity was of a different nature. And this is what the 8th and the 9th shloka is trying to tell you. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukta manyeta tattavit. A realized soul, tattavit means a realized soul. Now let us not describe him anymore, the realized soul who has reached his goal. Naiva kinchit karomiti. I do nothing. When does he say so? When he has picked himself up and aligned himself with his true original nature. Jatha mahamatsa ubho kulo sancharanta. Like that great fish, Mahashesh, known in common language, in such a current, when an elephant is afraid to foot in, the most sure-footed heavy animal, it may be flooded away. In that strong current, you find fish moving with great leisure and pleasure, as if it's a great fun for him, going and touching that shore, coming back and touching this, playing around. They also play around like that. They share your agony. Your agony is an individualistic agony. But he projects himself to you, shares your agony by shedding tears along with you. You see, he is as much attached to you as he is attached to himself. Oh my, what a sympathy! I have never found it anywhere. How could you? Because he has identified with the whole cosmos. Swami Vivekananda used to say, defining a real sannyasi, used to say, a realized soul, a perfect realized soul, what happens to him? Not a small tear of bereaved person shed anywhere in this world does not reflect in his heart. He is a real sannyasi. And if you read the Holy Mother's life thoroughly well, you will find sitting in a room in a small suburb of Calcutta, she's asking Sharat Maharaj, Sridharananda, "Oh Sharat, my child in San Francisco is going to make a great error. Could you stop him?" Sitting in Calcutta, she's feeling that her Swami, her child, Swami, is on the verge of committing a great error and can't do anything but telling Sharat Maharaj, please do something to save him, protect him. But in those days, line of communication was so poor. Swamiji could do nothing about it. And the poor man died in an explosion. There was a bomb thrown at him and he died of that. Holy Mother in Calcutta, visualizing what is happening in San Francisco, 2963 Webster Street. This is what a realized soul is. Weeping, wailing, crying for others, and you think and I think, they are ordinary creatures, weeping, wailing, crying. They are not crying for themselves, crying for others. When the Son of God was being crucified, what were his last words? Do you remember? "O Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." They are crucifying your Son. They do not know. They are crucifying a criminal. According to them, Jesus was a traitor to the nation, traitor to the society. He is not fit to live. He should be put to death. And while dying, he doesn't blame, he doesn't weep, doesn't wail, doesn't grumble, doesn't complain. What does he do? He asks forgiveness for the children who do not know what they do. "O Father, forgive them, for you do not know what they do." This is the sign and symptom of a realized soul. Now let us read the text. Please be very careful. Those who have books on it, read the translations properly. Naiva kinchit karomi iti. I do not do anything. You remember the description I gave of Premananda Ji. To set an example to the youngsters when they were peeling the vegetable for the lunch offered to Sri Ramakrishna. Talking was prohibited because you may unknowingly spit on the vegetable. So, how do we use your time? One person sitting in the corner used to read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, especially the area of his sadhana. And there, the description came how Totapuri taught Sri Ramakrishna to move between the two shores, the worldly and the divine. And then, inspired by that incident, Premananda Swami, who was a leader of the team, who was in charge of educating the young Swamis, he said, "Look, boys, look at me." And he started peeling vegetables. "I am peeling vegetables. I am peeling vegetables." He has identified like that playful fish on this shore of egoistic existence. And then after a moment, he said, "Now look, boys, peeling goes on. I do nothing. I do nothing. Peeling goes on." "You are peeling, sir. You say you do nothing." He has reached the other shore. The whole body mechanism is functioning, but he is not there. He is lost. That is what it is. And this is being described in the Gita. They say, the realized souls say, "I am aware, naiva kinchit karomi. I do nothing." not even what we know as nothing, which is something. For me, when I say I do nothing, I do something known as nothing. But when they say I do nothing, the cord has been broken. And they play with that cord, they join it together, they break it when they will it. So he says now, what do I don't do? Read every word. Passion, seeing. I don't see the world as you see. I see the presence of the divine everywhere. Sridharananda, hearing. I don't hear all the coarse and the sweet sounds of music. I hear the Omkara Dhvani. Om. It is derivative. All this sound is a derivative of that. Passion, Sridharananda, sprishan, touching. Jigran, smelling. Ashnan, eating. Gachan, to move. Swapan, to dream. Shwasan, to breathe. All these bodily activities and mental activities. Pancha-gyanendriya, 5 sense organs, 5 active organs, hastapani, padupastapayu, and then 5 prana, that is thinking, ideologically this, and dream. I go through all that. Pralapan, I speak. Visrajan, I evacuate and eject. Grindhan, I hold. Nimishan or Minshanapi, I blink my eyelids. And then, what do I feel? Indriyani, Indriyeshu, Vartanta iti dharayat. I know this body-mind mechanism is doing its work. Now, how is it doing its work? The 5 sense organs are involuntary. If you open your eyes, and if your eyes are not diseased, you will see. You can't stop it. But he says, the whole body is a well-tuned mechanism. And it runs on its own. How? Because I reside there, and that I resides everywhere. The concept of soul, the concept of ghost, the concept of Holy Ghost, the Spirit, the Atman, the Brahman, the Torah, Allah, Khuda, Alakh Niranjan, Gita, come, as many faiths. They have their goals. These are the words with which they explain their goal. Here, when you reach the goal, what are your new faculties? These faculties which are with you, you have polished them in such a manner, you have honed them, sharpened them, polished them in such a manner, you live in God, you live with God, you live for the sake of serving God, nothing but God in your life. That is what he understands. So all these small words, Pashan, Sridharananda, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapana, Sasan, Pralapan, Visrajan, Nimishan, Jigramapi, Indriyani, Indriyorteshu, Vartante, iti dharayat. I have nothing to do. You know, by way of example, a mechanic, a person who handles a machine tool. Say, for instance, a lathe which turns. You may know what a lathe is, a machine. That machine man sets the machine in order, switches on the machine. Machine has been set, he does its work automatically, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. When it is done, it stops. And the machine man, he is free, he has time for a smoke to relax. Here's the nearest example that I can give you. He has put everything on its place and he relaxes. Indriya indriyartheshu, all my sense organs, pancha jnanendriya, pancha karmendriya, pancha prana, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, 17 elements. 3 into 5, 15, and chitta ahankara, 17. All of them are absolutely organized, just like a machine man organizes his machine. And his wisdom is in the machine. Why? He has set it in there. Setting up the machine is his. So he stays here and sees the machine working. Indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. That is what it is. So, dears, this train, how to reach this position? The remaining 20, this chapter has probably 29 verses, if I am not wrong. And we are on the 9th. So 20 verses hereafter will teach us the procedure, the method, and the goal. Procedure, method, and the goal. What happens to you when you reach the goal? There's no area which is dark. All the corners of your understanding will be brightened up by words as much as it's possible and by your own ingenuity. Your ingenuity is required. And what is ingenuity, dear? In Sanskrit again, it has been very easily explained. Kartum, akartum, or natha kartum ashakyam. What does it mean? Don't get afraid. It's very easy. I tell you, please move a little. I don't see your face properly. Please move a little. I'd like to see your face. This is what I say. Please move a little. You can say, no, I won't. I'm happy here. It's your freedom. Oh, you say, Swami, I will. But Swami, I'll do it in my own way. I'm not going to listen to your direction. From A to Z, you spoon feed me. No, nothing doing. I have my freedom. I have my freedom to understand. Don't spoon feed me. That is ingenuity. The Gita is telling you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Each of us are made in a separate way. Each of us has our past. We look humans, but within we are worlds apart. And then we have described the world. Oh, we vibe well together. Oh, we are allergic to each other. Why? By appearance, we are humans. But within us, the personality is different. So, ingenuity has to be there. That ingenuity is the devoted, dedicated, disciplined desire to reach that goal. So here the Gita starts. The first portion of this 5th chapter ends here. The first through 3 shlokas told you, I hope you remember, all religions are the same. There are different paths to the different goal. That is the spirit of Vedanta. Vedanta, the climax, the unsurpassable height of your experiencing. That is, all religions, there are different paths leading to the same goal. And the Upanishads say, by way of an example, Jatha Nadya Sandamana Samudre. Jatha Nadya Sandamana Samudre Nama Rupa Bihaya. What actually happens? A river is nothing else but a mass of water. Essentially, intrinsically, river is nothing else but a mass of water. Why do we call it a river? It has a left bank, it has a right bank, and it has a bed. Say a U section. And mass of water flows. And ultimately, meandering through various different land masses, diverse, it ultimately goes and pours out into the sea. What has happened? The left bank, the right bank, and the bottom has disappeared. The water has merged with the ocean. Irretrievably lost. Mind you the word, irretrievably lost. This egocentric ego with ingenuity based on these teachings starts practicing it devotedly, dedicatedly, determinedly, with all the determination at its command. He keeps his life to be a karma yogi, starts his life yoga yukta, and ends up with this experience. So this is the introduction to the 5th chapter, the first 3 shlokas and the next 6 shlokas. And now, from shloka number 10 to 29, 20 shlokas will tell you different methodologies and the goals explained in different manner. We do not know which explanation will vibe well with you. You will gel well with that explanation. You have that freedom of choice. Be a Christian, be a Muslim, be a Jew, be a Buddhist, a Jain. Be whatever you want to be. Know for certain we are reaching the same goal. Example is a circle, a radii, and the center. All perpendiculars down on the circle will reach the center. Well, friends, let us stop here. Thank you, dears. Thank you. So we meet Sunday next.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.